Namaste, beautiful yogis. Welcome to Ali Kamenova Homestead and Yoga Classes channel. I wanted to officially say hello and let you know about this channel and just the plans for this channel here. I have been posting on this particular channel. It was called membership, um, on my membership classes, but now I wanna expand this channel a little bit and do content that is not going to make it on Ali Kamenova Yoga. It will make it on Mystica mostly, where Johnny will document our daily challenges around moving, city people moving to an orchard, a homestead, permaculture vision orchard. Um, and that I anticipate to be kind of our work together. This channel, I'll try to do more the recipes, herbal potions, certain things of that nature, talks, and certain classes and stuff like that. So I wanted to say officially hello to you. I think I'll keep for now this name for this channel because it describes it. At the same time, it's really long, so I'll probably change it in the future, in a year or so. But for now, I just wanted to build this channel and also to remind you that right now we're doing face massage, and I was just about to do voiceover for face massage class, and I figured I would just say hello to you and post a message of inspiration and hope because I was having this contemplation today. I've been kind of binge consuming certain permaculture and village living content, farm, village, homestead, etc. living kind of inspiration, and because there is a lot to learn there and a lot to do there, and I was just thinking to myself that there is, if you think about humans and how much we have moved through changes in humanity, most of it we don't even know about, but the stuff we know about, we have often descended through times in consciousness, right? And in my personal opinion, it's always on purpose, meaning within the bigger picture that was part of the design of evolving and awakening to the deeper parts of the self and experiencing the self, right? So it was never kind of fully getting lost, but it's part of the grand idea of evolution of expansion, of consciousness expansion. And so if we think about the last 100 years when industrialism really took over humanity and we really concentrated around the cities, and kind of disconnected from nature ways. Farmers disconnected from nature further by destroying the microbiome, the soil, um, uh, creating practices that are almost a war with nature rather than working with nature, where there is a design in nature where we can go the route of least resistance and just observe and apply how nature does it. All right, so we haven't done that, but as I mentioned, I do believe that those things are, in many ways, a part of our learning experience. And I feel that whenever there is an agenda or like a general movement that is not as light, not of the light, and it's almost like moving weeds out, and you feel like you've weeded the dandelions all out, and then they pop up again, and you spray them, and they again pop up. I feel that's the case with consciousness. No matter how much we get lost in the ways uh, we're experiencing now, away from nature, misunderstanding our own selves, no matter how much and how far we go down that path as collective. I'm not talking about individuals, because individuals, they can have any individual experience that is completely disconnected or partially disconnected from the collective. But no matter how we disconnect as a collective organism, as a collective consciousness, the seeds of consciousness that are extremely evolved and expanded and connected to divine consciousness, they always pop back up. That's kind of like the dandelion seed. The stronger the roundup, the more resilient that seed that will pop up is. And I feel that's what's happening with humanity. I'm going to bring it home now. I feel that seeds of consciousness are popping up amongst humans. They're few and far in between, don't get me wrong. This is not like some whole seed is forming with that consciousness. These are seedlings, seeds of consciousness that in 100 years, 200 years down the line, we're going to see people living that way, because it is seeded now by those people that are stepping out of the way things are done at the moment and doing things in a new way. I see regenerative farming practices. I see people in communication with nature, just starting a new way of experiencing life. And within that connection with nature, we also experience our own timeline, our own life in a particular way. We start to have our own experience of reality, of relationships, of communication, production, and so forth. So I feel that we are seeding something big right now. I don't know if I'm sounding big. If I am, let me know. I tend to be abstract, but I think we're seeding something really big now. And although we're not going to see it as a mass consciousness, it will grow. And in 200 years from now, humanity will be having these forms of organizations in nature that are extremely in touch with the natural cycles, with the flow of life. And that's not going back. It's actually moving forward with the knowledge from the past that is retained. Some of it is lost, but most of the knowledge never gets lost because it is in the consciousness, and it's in the natural world. So we always have access to it as long as we purify our vessel and work on the receiver. So that was my contemplation, and our individual experience can be that we experience it now and here, that consciousness, that experience with nature. And as I heard someone say it, I forget who, but someone said it, the proof is in the doing. So we're going to individually do it, and hopefully in many ways experience this beautiful new impulse in humanity. It's old and it's new and it's sprouting and it's a seedling and it will grow, and it's unstoppable and not suppressible. And even if we see the opposing impulse also happening, which we will, this is unstoppable. It's as my analogy with dandelions. You can pull it, it comes back up. You then spray it comes back up. So it is the seedling, the impulse to of the most resilient to carry on that consciousness. It's a consciousness. A consciousness is unerasable. You can oppress it temporarily, but it's gonna explode. So I see phenomenal potential within how humans will arrange societies based on this negative experience that we have had and are having. And the worse we experience it, the better we're gonna build it forward, and the more impulse we'll have to build, because sometimes adversity awakens us to do something to avoid adversity, right? So that is my vision. It's just something that I was contemplating. It's not massive. It's just something I was thinking about, and I figured I would just talk about it because it's just a vision. I see people doing regenerative farming in just profound ways, where it's least amount of interfering with nature. You arrange systems that take a little bit of work to arrange them, so to see them, to do the watering, the permaculture, the mulching, the layers of soil, the building of soil. But once you set it, especially if people did that in those most precious years when they're in their early 20s, lots of energy, lots of learning potential, if people build those types of houses in the future, that's way in the future, but clay and stone and just very sustainable houses that are also not this plastic mold fest, right? But it's those houses that retain heat and have cool areas slightly under and all of that. We have so much potential and so much vision, and we can create these gardens that require much less interference, much less from us to do, because it's set up in a permaculture way, where it's a self-sustaining organism. We can see that now and today in our own lives, or even aspects of it, and we're going to learn along the way, and we'll be that part of that seedling of that consciousness. So that is my inspiration when I see how things can be done. It blows my mind, because it's not done that way for the most part, and the potential is phenomenal, because the more we spray, the more we kill the microbiome. Now we have a soil issue, then the food is it doesn't build our health, then we ourselves have the microbiome issue. Our brain operates from the gut microbiome. So it's the whole system is interconnected. You focus on the soil, all of humanity responds, the brains respond. We download better information when our brain is a better instrument. That's my vision. I hope in some way it gives you the same similar or inspiring vision, because there's so much to look forward to, even if we're just that bridge generation that prepares for the future generations to execute that, to create that, to expand on that, because that is just a preliminary vision. Within it, there is things that will blow my mind that I can't even imagine, with how water is utilized, energy is created. It's just endless. Can you hear the coyotes? There's coyotes and frogs and outside, and it's just pretty cool. All right, namaste.